Hello folks, we have a really cool video today. It is a review on this Dual Port Rippa muffler for this Husqvarna 440 chainsaw. We'll try it out and see how it works. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in today. We have something really cool to show you. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be testing out this new muffler for this 440 Husqvarna chainsaw that I purchased from eBay. What makes this muffler so special is it's a dual port muffler. Check this out. Just came in today. This is a dual port muffler for a Husqvarna 440 chainsaw. I believe it fits a few other models, 435, 445. Pretty sure it fits all of those. But this is the saw here I'm going to be testing it out on. This is a brand new 440. Like I say, it's brand spanking new. I've ran it already. I've got 2 heat cycles on it, made 1 cut in some wood, so it's ready to go now. How we'll test this out is make a few cuts with the stock muffler, average those times, switch that muffler out to this muffler, and average those times. Take a few cuts, average those times. It's real simple to change. 2 bolts. Swaps it right over. As you can see, that should flow a lot more. Let me show you something about these saws. You know, everybody's got a chainsaw knows they're all pretty much the same. The exhaust comes out of this little slit. That's it. And it's right on the side of it's always on the side of the muffler. And what it does is it blows exhaust all over the thing. All over the side. Hits the handle. It always turns the handles black. The face of your saw black. I think this is going to be a big improvement here. I think this, with these tips here, I think these are going to direct the exhaust straight away from the saw. Yeah. I think that's going to be a big improvement. Like I said, we'll try it out and see. We'll do some timed cuts. A 10 or 12-inch log. Probably just a 10-inch log, because that's plenty for this saw. It's an 18-inch bar. That'll be a good time. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll see how this works. Alright, here we are at our test log. This is a yellow pine. It's 12 inches. I'll show you that. It's a 12-inch piece of pine. It's a soft, sticky wood because it's loaded with sap. But I've already taken a few cuts, so I wanted to tune the stock muffler in to get as much power out of it as I could, and I wanted to take a few practice cuts to see how much I could push the saw, because I didn't want to lean into it too much and bog it out and stop the chain in the middle of a cut, because that'll ruin the test results. So, and then I'll do the same thing with the dual port muffler. I'll adjust that for maximum power too, and then we'll see what we get. Stock muffler. There we go, stock muffler. Alright folks, what we're going to do now is we're going to swap out this muffler on the Husqvarna 440, little 440 saw. I'll put on the dual port muffler. This should be quick and easy. Just 2 bolts in the front. Hit it with a metric Allen wrench. Give it a crack loose. And loosen those screws up. Okay, so here's what we got. We got the muffler, the 2 bolts. Gasket goes in between the muffler and the heat shield. Oh yeah, there's the heat shield. So it goes the gasket. Let's go ahead and drop these bolts into the new muffler. Just get them to come through the holes. There we go. Throw our gasket on there. Because this saw here, it actually threads into these holes are real tight, so it threads into the heat shield. So you can give it a few turns. Just thread it into that heat shield, and it'll hold the gasket in place. It'll hold everything in place so you can line it up. See that? That's just a few turns into the heat shield. We got the gasket in there. It'll hold it all in place. Keep it lined up. Should be a little easier going back on now. Kind of just wiggle it in here. Around. Okay, there we go. And you can actually see the exhaust on the side. Get it lined up. Get one side started. See if we can get the other side started. It feels like it's lined up. Snug that side. Then we'll switch over and snug the other side. Snug them up evenly. I'm just using the scrunch here that it came with to give it a little extra torque on this alley. Crank it in. There we go. You don't need to over tighten those because they're not very big screws. They're screwed into aluminum. So it's better to have them fall out than get stripped. There it is. 440 dual port muffler. That's going to be really cool. Alright, dual port muffler. Give it a try. A little bit louder. you have it. Dual port muffler. Okay, so the test results are in on what these mufflers ran for times. That was a 12-inch pine log, yellow pine, real sticky. And what I did is I took a bunch of practice cuts with both mufflers to tune them in correctly. I had to adjust the carb for each one, mainly the high adjustment. And these new saws, they're actually using these little spline drivers. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little spline driver. And what's pretty cool about this saw is it doesn't have the plastic limiters on it anymore. You know, all of saws I've bought in the past few years, they've had the plastic limiters on it, but you can only turn the screw a half a turn. You know, you gotta take your needle nose, pull them out, take a knife, cut the little tab off, and push them back on, and you get full adjustment. But I didn't have to do that to this one. It lets you adjust it as much as you want. So the difference between the two mufflers is the high adjustment for the dual port here. I had to go out about a half a turn on the high, add more fuel to it. You know, I thought putting this muffler on, I thought it was just going to increase the RPM range. RPM range stayed the same. But what it allowed me to do is add more fuel to the top end to give it more power. And I mean, you can feel the difference. With the stock muffler, cutting that pine log, you know, it's soft wood, but it's pretty sticky, and it's 12 inches. That's a lot for a 40cc saw. So I couldn't really put much weight on it with the stock muffler. It would just bog down and stop the chain. And I didn't want to stop the chain during the test because that would mess up the test. Now with this muffler, fattened up high a little bit, I was able to actually push on it a little bit. I was able to put more weight on it. And I think that's why it cuts faster. It's just the top end just had more power, more torque. And as far as sound, when you first started up with this muffler, you could tell the sound difference. Right away you hear it's louder. But at wide open throttle, it's only a little bit louder. It doesn't really seem that much louder. But I mean, I'm telling you, the difference it makes, oh, the times. Probably waiting for these times. The time for the stock muffler, the average out of the 3 cuts was 23.43 seconds. That's to a 12-inch pine log. The average time with this muffler, the dual port, was 16.13 seconds. That's almost a 7-second difference per cut. That's a big difference. And I am impressed. I'll tell you, this muffler is staying on this saw. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.